What is up, Niner gang, man? You guys are in here right after this loss to the Bears in the season opener. Oh man, this is horrible. Looked really bad, man. We got a lot of things to get to in this one. Definitely did not see this playing out this way at all. Definitely some of the conditions on how things went, I think, played a big part in this. Not to try and make too many excuses, man, but because at the end of the day, we didn't capitalize on some of our momentum and kind of shot ourselves in the foot, man. Pretty bad the way things went. It was looking really promising in the beginning, and that rain just played a way bigger factor. It seemed like than what it looked like initially. Initially, it was gonna kind of go towards. So very unfortunate, man. 49ers 2022 season. We're starting out 0-1 against the Chicago Bears, and very uncharacteristic it looked like, man, from this offense. The defense was looking really good, and it just seemed like for whatever reason, um, I talked about a lot how Trey Lance went from one first half of games to a second half, and he would make a lot of really great improvements. Um, but it seemed like in this game that didn't happen. And not only that, with the offense losing momentum and just kind of dropping the ball in a lot of different ways, it seemed like it really affected our defense and put a lot of pressure on them. And they started making some mistakes themselves as well. So as a team as a whole, we kind of just crumbled, man. It's not great to see. Very unfortunate. I know those guys are right now in their post press conferences, their post game press conferences. Um, I would like to be able to pull it up and kind of listen to it while we're in this live stream right now. But man, I'm just gonna go ahead and check those out afterwards after I do this. This is an instant post game reaction. So I guess we'll just go with that first. But man, it seemed like penalties were a big one in this game. Huge. The difference in the penalties. The last I noticed was like the 49ers had 11 penalties. I think they ended up getting another one, making it 12 penalties for about 100 yards or a little over 100 yards. And it wasn't just getting penalized and getting set back a little bit. It was like in crucial moments, the 49ers were messing up and extending drives on defense for the Bears and kind of negating our drives on offense. So in crucial times, man, it wasn't just a lot of yardage we were losing, but just, man, loss of momentum with those penalties. It was about 12 penalties for over 100 yards versus the Bears were about 3 penalties, maybe 4 to maybe like 40 yards. I think it was actually less than that. So that's a pretty big difference, man. And oh man, it just shot us in the foot so badly. It's very unfortunate. But I'm gonna go back to the beginning of the game here where we saw Brandon Ayuk get the ball. And he looked like from the beginning of the game, like he was gonna have a big game. I thought he was gonna have a pretty good game. I know I was surprised with Danny Gray not being one of the game day guys I was gonna be suited up. I was very surprised by that. I don't know why. I got to check into that. I kind of woke up with maybe like 20 minutes before the game, and I was trying to place some bets and stuff like that. So get my jersey on, play some bets, and by the time I knew it, the game was on. So I didn't get to check up too much on that Danny Gray situation. Very unfortunate that Kittle couldn't play. You could see it in his face, especially in the fourth quarter. He was just taking his hat off, brushing his hair, and just looking very anxious, like he knew, or we know that he wanted to be in that game. So that looked very hard for him to have to deal with. And We definitely wanted him in there. Probably would have been a very different game if Kittle was in there. Just that one little mismatch could have thrown the whole game around to a completely different outcome. I think you guys would be surprised by the the amount of impact Kittle would have had on this game. He could have been a very clutch receiver for Trey Lance, and as we saw, man, Trey Lance struggled a lot more so than Justin Fields. It seems like Justin Fields was looking very rough, man, and then towards the end of the second quarter, it seemed like they were kind of letting him off the reins a little bit. And letting him do his thing a little bit more. I don't know if he was calling some of the plays as well, but he was starting to look a lot more comfortable and getting to do some more off script stuff. So, really putting our defense in some really tough positions. Justin Fields is very talented, and he was spreading the ball around, throwing to receivers that a lot of people didn't think were going to be a very big factor in this game. One of them, of course, being Dante Pettis, the 49ers past draft pick that they moved on from a couple years ago. Um, so that really pissed me off. I was very surprised. I was like, man, okay, yeah, Pettis could have gotten a big gain, but for there to be four guys running his way and not a single one of them caught him. I think it was Mosley was getting blocked up, but still, it didn't look like he had very much energy to run fast. It seemed like he was kind of jogging to Dante Pettis, and from what I saw, I think it was Mosley. Sorry if I'm wrong, Mosley. I apologize, but I'm pretty sure I saw number 4, and it seemed like he was jogging over there. He was a little blocked up, but still, the guy can't hold him. If he does, that's a penalty. So I would have liked to see more effort, at least from what it looked like. But yeah, man, Dante Pettis got that touchdown. Um, there was a lot of talk about this being a revenge game for not only Justin Fields, but uh, Dante Pettis, seeing what he could do coming into this game. Not very many people believed he would do anything, and I think he made maybe 2 plays. That one being a very long touchdown. Um, Man, very unexpected. Kudos to him, I guess, but damn, man, hard to see, man. Hard to see the Niners struggling like this. Um, I didn't think the rain was going to play as big of a factor as it did, and I feel like just at the right time for the Bears, man, it was just all the stars were aligning. When it was crunch time and Trey Lance and the offense needed to make something happen, it seemed like everything was just going right for the Bears, wrong for us. The rain started pouring down worse than ever. Man, it was just the alignment of stars, man. It's crazy. That and we got to remember as well that this was an away game. So the offense also had to deal with the crowd noise. And it did seem like it was starting to play a part in that, man. The rain and the crowd noise in the second half, man, they just seemed to kind of take over the game and demoralize the momentum of the 49ers. So that sucks. But hopefully we could get some people in the comments here kind of sharing their thoughts on everything. We talked about Brandon Ayuk a little bit, and one of the things I was very kind of surprised to see last year from the offense was we didn't see a whole lot of go around routes for or run arounds from Brandon Ayuk um, as like as opposed to the year before that, where Ayuk was like the leading receiver. He made some very explosive plays out of the backfield, just like Debo did. Not in the same fashion, whereas in Debo's game, it's more of a power kind of play, and Brandon Ayuk is a little more finesse. But I still think he could add something out of the backfield, and he had a very good play running around the edge in the first quarter. I would have liked to see more of that. It just seemed, and I guess this is one of the other things I wanted to touch on. I would like to know what you guys think, but it seemed like Kyle Shanahan's play calling was pretty vanilla in this game, if can say so myself. Very vanilla, man. When you put Debo Samuel back there and it's just obvious you're giving him the ball pretty much every single time, it's too obvious, man. I, we got to see more creativity out of there. With Anthony Lynn and Kyle Shanahan putting their two heads together, um, I was expecting a lot more out of the run game than we saw, man. Um, as soon as Jeff Wilson Jr. got in there as well, I think I was kind of wrong on this. I thought Jeff Wilson Jr. was going to have a way more explosive game than what he had. And very unfortunate to hear that Elijah Mitchell went out with an injury. Um, I did say, man, before this game, I said they need to take it slow with Elijah Mitchell, not so many carries. Let him share the rock with Jeff Wilson Jr. And I know he shared it with the Debo Samuel a lot and Trey Lance as well. But he's just coming back from injury. I knew he was healthy-ish, but was he game day ready was my question. And he ended up getting hurt pretty early in the game. Jeff Wilson Jr. came in. It seemed like while Elijah Mitchell was in there, he was more explosive than Jeff Wilson Jr. At least the plays were more explosive for whatever reason. Um, there is the element that the offensive line might have started getting tired a little bit. So they couldn't help Jeff Wilson Jr. as much, but Jeff Wilson Jr. was fresh. So I would have liked to see more out of him. And I definitely would have liked to see him more in the pass game as well. We didn't see him show up, man. I'm still very curious. I got to check up on why Danny Gray didn't play. They ended up moving Malik Turner up to the active game day roster because of whatever happened with Danny Gray, I'm assuming. And I forget who else at the moment it was Tayshaun Gibson got activated to the game day roster. So didn't see too much out of him. There was he almost got that interception from what I remember. Tayshaun Gibson almost intercepted Justin Fields. That was a very nice play. Would have loved to see him come up with the football and give our offense a chance to score. Very unfortunate, but at least he broke up the play. At least he was there to make a play on his former teammates as well, because he used to be a Bear. Moving on to Womack, he almost got a pick six on the very first play. If you guys don't remember, on the very first offensive play of the Chicago Bears, I think it was a screen. Sam Womack, who I thought would have a pretty awesome game. It was actually between, I said, Hufanga and Samuel Womack would be breakout players for the defense and shine in this game. And I was right on one of them. Womack was almost that guy, man. I wanted to see how he did in the run game. And it didn't look very great. Of course, we haven't gotten to watch the film yet. But he almost did get that pick six on the very first offensive play of the game. And but Hufanga, man, he did get an interception. That was badass. It seemed like he was in his ball hawk mode, man. He had that sixth sense, and he was there to make a play very often. Very good to see what we saw out of Hufanga, man. Very encouraging. This is pretty awesome, man. He's a playmaker, dude. He might miss some plays here and there. Some things might get past him, but he's got the that intuition to get to the ball and make plays, man. So that was very cool to see. Yeah, man, Hufanga, that was very solid play from him. Very encouraging. Like to see that, man. Happy for him. Looking like a Troy Polamalu Jr. out there. So very happy about that. We got the read option and seeing the quarterback power again. I would have liked to see more read option out of Kyle Shanahan and Trey Lance as opposed to the quarterback power. I think there's more element of being able to juke guys out when you're in the read option versus the quarterback power. You're kind of just running behind some offensive linemen and linebackers and defensive backs, they kind of get free shots at your ankles and stuff like that. So you want to be careful with that. And it seemed like on a lot of those plays, Trey Lance didn't have a choice but to fall forward with his head first instead of being able to slide. Whereas opposed to with the read option, those plays tend to be a little more wide open. Um, so he's more on his feet, his toes, and gets to lean back and slide into positive yardage instead of allowing himself to take a hit. So I'm not a big fan of the quarterback power, man. I know it worked a couple times. Um, we saw that quarterback draw on 3rd and 13, I think it was. That was a pretty badass play. Kudos to Lance, man. Very awesome. Um, it looked to me at first like it was a pass play, and then Lance took it. But I know the announcers said it was a quarterback draw. It looked like a pass play though at first. He just took off with it. But again, I could be wrong, man. We got Debo back with a strong hit for the touchdown. Very beautiful run there with the very beautiful finish to it. But one of the things I wanted to point out about that play that a lot of people probably didn't notice was Elijah Mitchell and Ray McLeod. They had some great blocking around the edge, and that's what left it open for Deebo Samuel to run in for a touchdown. There was another guy there. I didn't see who it was, but very good blocking on that play, man. I was surprised to see those smaller guys blocking like that. So that's very awesome. Of course, I'm sure they're against cornerbacks, so that probably plays into it. And then, man, Deebo Samuel just smacks into the end zone and lays a big hit on the defender, man. So that was very awesome. It was very vanilla with all that Deebo Samuel stuff, but at least we got that nice touchdown out of it. One of the things we saw was Kinlaw go down with an injury pretty early in the game. I think it was right after the first quarter or towards the end of the first quarter. I was very worried about that, man, especially with his career so far hasn't been very successful since he's been drafted. And you want to root for a guy, man. You want to see him do good. But it's very hard when injury and your body just doesn't let you do anything. So when I seen him go down and the staff was looking over him and the game cuts to commercial and all that type of stuff. He's just laying on the ground. You're worried, thoughts are going through your head and you're wishing the best for him. Hopefully, it's just a dead leg or something like that. That he somebody maybe accidentally punched him in the leg or something like that. That's what the hope is, And then we seen him back in the game. I didn't hear very much about it, but just seeing him back in the game and playing was very awesome, man. So very happy for Kinlaw. Very happy for us as well that we got Kinlaw back, but mostly happy for Kinlaw that he continues to get to prove himself, and it wasn't anything serious, it seemed like. Of course, we have to go and listen to the post-game press conference, and especially tomorrow, we got to hear the press conferences tomorrow and hear more about all these injuries. Kittle should be good to go next week. This isn't the end of the world, guys. Yeah, we lost. You don't want to start the season like this, but we have started seasons like this. Last year is probably the best example. Granted, we started with Jimmy Garoppolo, so it's a different quarterback, but we started the season very slow. 3-5 last year. Changed momentum with that Rams game, but 0-1. Don't be surprised if we win the next 2 games. We also have to check the weather, man, because like I said, I think that just played such a huge factor in this game. I don't want to make excuses, but I'm just being honest. I think that was one of the biggest factors in us not being able to utilize all our talents on the offensive side of the ball. So, man, very, very hard to watch all that stuff, but glad Kinlaw's back. One of the things I noticed was a lot of people talked about how Trey Lance doesn't wear his wristband, the quarterback wristband that they wear on their left hand, the opposite of their throwing hand, to check the plays and stuff like that. I saw him wearing it in this game, and a lot of people were comparing him to where Jimmy Garoppolo wears it every game. He's been on the 49ers season after season, and Trey Lance has been here 1 year and that he doesn't wear it anymore, but he does. And like I said, I think my last video after the Rams game, Josh Allen was wearing his too. I didn't see if Matthew Stafford was, but Lance is wearing his, man. And it's probably because they installed so many new plays, it being the Trey Lance offense this year. And we see Jimmy Garoppolo, he's practicing the Trey Lance office this year. Um, so I'm very curious to see what happens if Jimmy Garoppolo does end up playing at all, because he was running zone read in practice. So is he going to get to run a little bit if he gets thrown in a game? We got a comment here from ICN Tuba One. Ugly game overall. Bear down. Yeah, man. I'm assuming you're a Bears fan. It looks like from your profile picture, but very ugly game. Um, Man, that rain was crazy. In the second half, I was saying that the stars were kind of aligning for the Bears in the second half. I don't want to make the excuses, but yeah, man, it was just super ugly overall, I think, for both sides. Um, Tough for both quarterbacks, man. Two young quarterbacks. Um, Fields ended up getting to let himself off the reins and make some plays, man. So the Bears got to see a lot of good things out of him. Very unfortunate that it came out of the expense of the 49ers taking a loss, but happy for him, man. I know it's tough that Fields doesn't have the greatest team behind him, but the Bears got to feel very encouraged by their young quarterback, man. I know I would be excited if we had Justin Fields. And not to say that I'm not excited about Trey Lance, because I am. He didn't have a great game this game, but you know, I've seen his potential and what he can do when it's not pouring down rain. So I'm just gonna. We all need to just kind of wait and see and have some patience with Lance, man, because I think this very next game, hopefully, it's not raining in Santa Clara. But either way, we got the Seahawks, so I think we should be all right. But at the same time, I thought that about the Bears. Um, Man, very unfortunate stuff, man. But one of the things I was pissed off to see was so we had a 4th and 1. I don't remember which quarter it was in, but 49ers were midfield on the offense on about the 48-yard line on the 49ers side of the ball or side of the field. We had a 4th and 1, and the 49ers did not go for it. With how well we were doing in the quarterback sneak game, quarterback power, with 1 yard to gain, man, you got to go for that midfield. As slow as everything was going in this game, is man, that pissed me off pretty bad. I already talked about how vanilla Kyle Shanahan was looking in his play calling, and for him to do something like that is, man, very frustrating. Um, so that really bums me out. We got another comment here from ICN Tuba One. I felt like Lance tried to do it all himself when he wasn't getting help from his wide receivers. Yeah, man. I was seeing that very much as well, and especially like on that 4th and 8, he threw that super ugly pass, and it was like he had time and a couple more seconds in the pocket, and he was just putting too much pressure on himself. It seemed like he definitely had the receivers to help him, but I feel like he wasn't letting the plays kind of work themselves and take. He should have taken deeper shots. I feel like, especially towards the end, just to spread out that defense a little more. But Lance was kind of rushing it, man. We usually see him very poised, and I'm not gonna lie. Hopefully, I don't get ridiculed too much about this, but I was in the back of my mind because I don't know if ICN Tuba One. I don't know if you've seen Jimmy Garoppolo play too much, but I feel like, and I know other people feel like this. Aside from the NFC Championship, in the last 2 minutes of that game, Jimmy Garoppolo, for whatever reason, he has that very clutch aspect of himself where 2 minute offenses where he's got to make those plays. It seems like he's just a badass when it comes to that. And in the back of my mind, I didn't even want to say it out loud, but I was like, man, Garoppolo would probably do really good right now. But at the same time, Trey Lance is able to move out of the pocket and stuff like that better than Jimmy Garoppolo can. So who knows, man? If only we could do a side by side comparison. But like you said, yeah, he was putting a lot on himself. It seemed like. So I agree with you there. I think I added that in my notes here somewhere. Um, oh, okay. So this is one of the plays that kind of pissed me off too. The officials missed this one. There was a 3rd and 9 where we passed it to Dwelly. We did get the first down, so I was happy about that. But both defenders, as soon as he caught the ball, they both hit him in the head. And I saw it before they replayed it. When they put it in slow motion, I had a Raiders fan watching the game with me. And I was like, see, dude, I told you. There's a they hit him in the head twice. You can't do that as soon as he catches the ball. He's got to take 2 steps, right? So I was pretty pissed off to see that, man. Especially Dwally having to take the 2 hits to the head, getting basically sandwiched between 2 Chicago Bears defenders. You can't ridicule the Bears too much on that. That was more something that went past the referees. So I don't know how that could happen when I saw it clear as day, especially in the replay. So something you definitely don't want to see. But yeah, man, I think that's pretty much it. We're on 27 minutes here going live. ICN Tuba, if you have any more thoughts, let me know. Like I said, I think from your profile picture that you're a Bears fan. So congratulations, man. Way to start the season. I know it was ugly for both teams, but we both got great quarterbacks, man. Great young quarterbacks that we get to build around. And Bears can definitely look forward to what they got going on over there, as well as 49er fans. Don't get too down on Trey Lance. Don't get too down on our team. We're still going to do great things. Don't be discouraged by that. Trey Lance has a lot of room to grow. He's done it in games where he grows from one half to the next and comes out like a whole different player, just from maybe some of that nervousness kind of fading away, whatever it is. But yeah, man, like I said, I think the rain played a huge role in it. I didn't see it playing this big of a role in it. So wait till we get to see him play these games where it's not raining and weather is not going to be a factor, especially in some of these dome games. We'll see what happens in Denver when we got Denver right after Seattle. Definitely got to take it one game at a time. But yeah, guys, don't get too down. Very hopeful for the season still, very much. That was a very close game. We're looking very good. It was just in those crucial moments we couldn't capitalize. As long as we fix that, the 49ers historically have kind of started out slow. The 2019 season, a lot of people point to we started 8-0, but at the same time, if you go back and watch some of those games, or if you just remember, even in those games where we were going undefeated, they were very close games where things kind of had to go our way. Games where Garoppolo wasn't playing very great, So yeah, we might start off slow, man, but when it comes down to crunch time and we're rolling into the playoffs, which we should be rolling into the playoffs, man. We got Garoppolo, Trey Lance, we got Brock Purdy. We should be winning regardless of which quarterback is playing for us. Hopefully Trey Lance doesn't get hurt, but regardless of who's playing for us at quarterback, we should be winning games and we should be making it into the playoffs. I feel very confident in our quarterback room. If we're talking about the rain, if you guys remember the 49ers versus Colts game last year, Jimmy Garoppolo struggled very much. Just the team as a whole seems to struggle in the rain. It adds a whole different aspect and element to everything, complicates a lot of things. And for whatever reason, I can't put my finger on it right now, but I definitely feel like it helped the Bears. But even in like 2019 when we played the Washington Commanders, I think they were at the time just the Washington football team. Um, Very raining game, looked very similar to what we saw today. And that was a very close game, man. And that was a team that a lot of people were expecting us to blow them out, but that was a very close game. So I was wrong on my score prediction as well. Man, very unfortunate. Very sucks, man. But yeah, everybody, please like this video. Please subscribe. Please participate. Leave your comments. Share this video if there's anybody you think might want to watch it. Please watch it through, read it through, read the comments, all that type of stuff, and engage, please. I appreciate everybody who tunes in. But I want to continue to grow as a channel. I want to maybe get to be able to do this full time where I can cover the 49ers and go to training camp and stuff like that on my own accord. But for those of you that tune in, I appreciate you very much. Please stick through to the end. I know it's already the end, so it's kind of late to mention, but got to regardless. You guys take care, huh? I'm going to go ahead and end the video on that note.